guys, really appreciate it. We are joined today with Haken and Sven from Square Enix. They're going to be taking us, giving us a look at Hitman Absolution. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And so, what do you have for us today?
Well, today we're going to show you a level quite early in the game. It's we call it a kill sandbox. It's a level where you have a crowd in there. You need to get in there to get some information, and you need to get that from a guy called Birdie. But before he gives you that information about a girl named Victoria, you need to do a favor for him, and that's getting in there and killing the crime lord who calls himself the King of Chinatown. Now, he's situated in the middle of the level in a pagoda, surrounded by cops that guard him. So, and this is where, you know, for the friends that know the franchise, the Hitman franchise, this is where you can really experiment. You know, one way of doing it will be just pull out your guns and the crowd will go in panic. They will kind of start with immediate crowd around you, will panic and withdraw a bit, and then it will propagate to the whole level going chaos.
Yeah, that's generally how I would probably play. So once I get my hands on it, that's probably how I like panic and chaos. But is there maybe a better way to go about doing that?
Well, I don't know better. I mean, for some it's compelling and fun and do it like that, but there's lots of different ways of doing that. You know, you can find poisonous fish, fugu fish, and poison the sushi, the food where King of Chinatown, he likes to hang out there. You can, you know, push him into a manhole. You can, you know, do something with his car and set off the alarm and play some explosive and trigger that and just walk away unseen, right? Right now, I think I'm not sure what Sven is up to, but I think he will try to go for the pusher. Now, the King of Chinatown, he has a sweet tooth for drugs. So there's an apartment where there's a pusher, and you can you know, take him out and take his disguise on, and the king will think that you're the pusher. So you can kind of trick him up to his apartment.
Now it's been like a while since we've seen a Hitman game.
Yeah.
What's it like bringing Agent 47 back? I imagine it's a lot of fun to just sort of revisit this character. What's in store for him this time around?
I mean, it's really been an honor to work on this. It's been a while since Blood Money, 6 years, right? Early on in the early concept when we were doing this, we you know, we are known for the advanced AI, etc. And we knew that we really, you know, for the creative direction we were taking with this, what we wanted to achieve, we needed a technology. So we started that our in-house technology G2 from scratch, build that up. So that's why it took a while until we could kind of achieve the ambitions we had for it. So yeah, right now he's Agent 47 is blending in to get a closer look at the target, King of Chinatown, and you can do that. We have features like that. So disguise is a feature in the Hitman series, right? But there's a lot more to it right now. There's more fidelity to how good disguise it is. If I'm a cop, you're a cop. You can, you know your colleague, so you can see through my disguise, and the disguise will be blown. But you know, if I had another disguise, you probably wouldn't. But there's also you know, blending in with your disguise. So every disguise has a distinct you know, way of blending in. So I can use some instinct energy. So I can, if I'm a cop, I can talk to the radio and say, oh, I'm going to the South Bank or something, and the cop would think, oh, okay, he's probably working or something. If I'm a doctor, I would write something on my notebook. So that really gives more fidelity to it. So, there's also, I just mentioned the instinct, and the instinct is it's a new feature for our franchise.
Right now we saw a little bit about that at the presentation. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that here?
Yeah. So the instinct is it's a feature that we for the first time can kind of communicate. Agent 47's super keen senses. He's a top-notch assassin, right? With that, we can communicate his skills and abilities into game mechanics, really. So Instinct is an umbrella feature with a lot of sub-features. The blend-in is one of them. So when you use that, you kind of burn down Instinct economy. You can also use something that's called point shooting.
Right, yeah.
And that's actually a real discipline that these elite guys use in real life. That's you know, when you don't have time to react, you just shoot just on instinct. And this is something we implemented here as well, so he can kind of tag people and execute many people at one time, and that uses some instinct as well.
That's kind of, yeah, you said that's what real hitmen use. Yeah. That's a question I'm scared to ask. How much research did you guys do into that? Into what real hitmen do?
We'll do a lot of exciting research for our game. Well, right now the dealer is going down to the dark alley where his stash is. So he's gonna get that in order to sell that to the king. And this is a perfect moment away from the crowd for Agent 47 to take him out and get the disguise.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Oh, look at that! And then and that's part of the blending in feature you're talking about. Okay, all right.
You mentioned earlier about the various ways you can go about killing your targets.
Yeah.
And especially in a game like Hitman, where it's really known for both gruesome and, we'll say, creative ways of disposing of people. What new means of killing people have you developed for this one, and how does that affect how you design a level as a whole?
Yeah, well, it's on that way, it's a very challenging task for our level designers, right? They're doing a really good job because it needs to cater for all these different ways of playing, right? So we with QA and the team knows, a wide array of ways of taking out the king here. There's really a lot of opportunities or different ways of doing that. But when we see other players play it, they find new ways of doing that, right? We just recently talked about that you could, that the pusher goes up to his apartment with the king, and if you replay the level a couple of times, some certain things he does at random points, then getting explosive, have him place that in the apartment first, standing outside amongst the crowd, looking at the apartment, you see him just about to take his drug, press the remote button, explodes, flies out in the amongst the crowd.
It makes for
you just walk away, right? The police is agitated, looking for what happened, looking for something has happened, right? But I don't know it's you, so you can just go unseen out there.
It makes for like the most dramatic moments too, because like the music cue kicks in after, and he's just walking away coolly. Like for a lot of the stuff that we've seen, some explodes.
Well, then there's also the section where, like now, where you're disguised and you have to walk by, like you just say you're disguised as a cop. You walk by other cops, and you got to blend in, and there's that tension inherent to that, and like you got to keep yourself hidden so the cops don't spot you. And
the music system is also another thing with the technology. It's very dynamic, and we needed to have that because we haven't built a game with on rails where we can really time the drama in that way. So the music system is really dramatic according to what you do, because we don't know what the player will do, right? It's their choice. So
exactly.
They can do whatever at whatever given point. And with the attention HUD and the music system playing in, it really creates the drama or the attention there.
It seems like you do give
a lot
of freedom.
Now he's taking the drugs. We haven't poisoned it, so we must dispose of him in another way. And I'm sure Sven will do a good job right now. Oh yeah.
That's satisfying.
Yeah, that is a good job, Sven.
That's it.
That was pretty brutal. It was very efficient too.
So we went up there and we passed the corrupt cop before. And it was okay with him because he thinks it's the pusher, because we took the disguise. Now he's hidden the knife as well, and we can just pass the cop without anything. And of course the rating, it's a big part of our game as well, and it's been in the earlier iterations in our franchise. So Silent Assassin is a pretty tough thing to achieve, and it's a lot of stuff for the achievers as well. It's really tough to do that. But so there is a lot of systems, a lot of rating, achievements, challenges that plays into this. So it records everything, how you did that. Are you like a guy that's creating mayhem, so you're kind of a madman kind of thing, or are you the shadow, unseen killer, or are you the ultimate silent assassin? Yeah. But it's very important for me to point out that, it's not up to us to say, well, silent assassin is the right way to play. You can play that. Pretty hard to achieve that, but it's not necessarily the only way you can play it, right? If you wanna have fun, you're kind of guy that shoots things or explodes crowd members, and you're having fun with that. That's a compelling gameplay.
Big freedom of choice you're giving people.
Yeah, and you want to go with stealth. There's no forced combat besides the targets you need to kill. So you can go throughout the whole game without being forced into combat, if that's what you like. And most of us actually enjoy to switch forth and back. You can do that in a level, or you can do that, next level, I'm gonna play action, because all the NPCs, the sub-stories, the music, play it action, you get a rock riff kind of. If you play stealthy, you get other vibes with the music, right? So if you played it the action approach, you can go back and replay it and get another experience. The NPCs will not have been panicked. They will tell the everyday stories. You'll get all these nitty-gritty stories. So yeah.
Going back to the narrative, and I guess this goes back to the Hitman series as a whole, but specifically this game, in terms of creating a compelling narrative about an assassin who's mostly mute and mostly kind of impassive, has there been any difficulties in coming up with something that will resonate with people beyond just going around and killing people?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because it's this time around, Agent 47 has been laying low for a while, and now he got this very personal contract. Now he works for the agency, ICA, and his handler is Diana. That people that know the franchise would know her, Diana Burnwood, and he actually gets contracts to kill her. And the professional he is, he actually does that, kills Diana. But then he's betrayed by the agency, and he's hunted by the corrupt cops. So he seeks redemption. He actually seeking absolution with Diana's last dying wish to find this girl called Victoria. So it's a bit different in that way with the overarching story. It's a lot more personal story. You actually get a lot closer to Agent 47, and not much, but there's a little, you scratch a bit on his professional outside, right?
A little
so
bit of humanity.
You get to know him a bit more like an emotional guy.
Yeah.
In terms of when we watched the demo over at your guys' booth, that part he had, and I don't know if you can say anything about this, he had a Band-Aid on the back of his head.
Yeah.
And here, as obviously he doesn't. Can you comment on that at all?
I really can't at this point.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
There's obviously something with his inner demons, inner stuff like that, and it's a part of the story and it's part of his personal progression and the things he's gonna go through. But I can't go in.
Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, fans can be fickle, and we know that they can be so fickle. How would you guys manage what you perceive as the fans' expectations versus making the game that you want to make? Did they conflict at all? Do you feel?
No, not at all. I mean, we had a really successful E3 last year. It was, Agent 47 is back, and it's very, showing a production values, the new engine and the cinematic feel to it. And I know a lot of fans have been, we have very loyal fans have been like, oh, is it too much action now? Where's the gameplay we love in Hitman, right? And at this E3 we have this King of Chinatown demo at the booths, and we have the theater show with the Streets of Hope.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if the fans get to play that and see the Streets of Hope, there should be no doubt that this is very much a Hitman game with, we call it Kill Sandbox, with the creative ways of traversing around, getting to know the level, getting to know your options, strategize, and then make your move. So very much about that.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.